Hello, welcome to episode 8 of Generation 2 of the Perfect Genetics Challenge. We're at Mountain Lake at James and Carla's place, and Olivia is still visiting her grandchildren and her son James, of course, and his wife Carla. And the lights are out because Jimmy is telling a ghost story. His only audience is Amelia's imaginary friend made real, little Louie. The other 3 imaginary friends recently made real are working on their blocks skill. I'll have to check and make sure Louie has learnt all of his blocks before we move on. Olivia is going to be going home shortly. There she is sitting at the bar reading a book. She's in her athletic outfit. And Olivia's athletic outfit came from the Katy Perry Sweet Treats pack. And there is Betty. She's just come and joined the audience to listen to the ghost story. There's James walking across and Carla in her swimsuit. Carla is a professional author and James has got some laundry in his hand. I recently installed 2 washing machines and 2 dryers in that room, and the household has been happily washing clothes and drying clothes. They actually ran out of dirty clothes in the end. I can never believe that could have happened in a Sims household. Well, that's the end of that ghost story. I hope you enjoyed it. That's Walter learning his child cooking skill. He's done his blocks. The reason I made the imaginary friends real at this point was to get them to do all of their child skills. There's mother and son sitting at the bar reading their books, or James is reading his on his tablet, and that's Olivia reading a book. Olivia's going to set off on a whirlwind trip of Vice City. She's got to check it out to see if it's suitable for some of her other household members to move to, because now that the imaginary friends have been made real in this household, this world is full and we can't bring any more Sims to live here. I might have to move a few out. There's Carla finishing off the laundry. Olivia didn't have time to visit everybody who lives in this world now, so they had a big party to give her a farewell before she left the world to go home. We're not going to see Vice City at the moment because we'll have a good look at it when Martin and Bart move there. They'll be moving there probably in the next episode. They're still teens, so they can't move out just yet, but they will be moving as soon as they grow up and become young adults. Now, I only invited Sims from this world who had previously lived in Olivia's household back in Moonlight Falls, but everybody from the world seems to have turned up, and I moved about half of the townie population of Moonlight Falls to this world to make space in Moonlight Falls. So you probably recognise quite a few of the Sims. There's Sophie Rogers there with the pigtails. But I can't go through them all and tell you who everybody is because there's just too many of them. So we'll just have a quick look around to see who's there, and then Olivia will head off back to Moonlight Falls. That Sim clapping happily is Gary, Olivia's eldest son, and his wife is there. That's her with the pale yellow top on. That's Donna, she's a fairy, and they've got 2 children who are fairies, a boy and a girl, and we saw them in the last episode. Suddenly Olivia was heading for home. She had to go, her flight was there waiting, and she just had to leave the party. I'm sure it went on for quite some time after she left. And when she arrived in Moonlight Falls, she found herself stopping temporarily in the base camp. Now this is a base camp that I built, and I've added it to a few worlds, but I thought I'd just let us have a little look around to see what's in it, because I'd forgotten what was inside, so you probably haven't even ever seen inside it. The other Sims staying at the base camp are travellers. They're not part of Olivia's household. There's the toilet room or bathroom where they've got their toilets and showers and wash basins. The showers are in those little rooms on the left. The reason Olivia stopped off here is because she was travelling from a player-made world And often, because when they go to those player-made worlds, I use the computer to treat it as not a vacation. That's using the NRAS Traveller mod. So when they're ready to go home, it doesn't have an option of go home. And if there happens to be an option to go home, I don't use it because they can go anywhere, I've discovered, so I don't take the risk anymore. It just takes too long if they spend ages travelling to a world that isn't their home world. I've had that happen before. So I just tell them to travel to, and in this case Olivia was told to travel to Moonlight Falls. And that's what she's done. And when she gets to Moonlight Falls, she'll stop in the base camp, because I put the base camp there for this reason. I don't want her arriving in a world, in her home world, and have no available houses for her to stop in. The way I get her out of here is I go into Edit Town and evict her from the base camp and then add her to her own household in the world, because I can't get her to travel to it or to move to it using the computer, because she's got to stay here. At least one sim that's travelled must stay at the base camp, and she's the only one that travels, so the only way to get her home is, for me anyway, is to go into Edit Town, evict her from the base camp, and then place her in her own household. While Olivia's been away from home, her household has gone rogue, and when she arrived back at her house, she found that Barbara was being brought home by the police for being out too late beyond her curfew. At least Barbara got home safely. It turns out that Barbara wasn't the only one who'd been out late. Several others were scurrying home quickly, hoping that they would make it before they came to the attention of the police. Olivia immediately set to work, making sure that everybody was in bed, that all the homework had been done, so they'd be ready to go to school the next day. It was very important that they get to A grade very quickly, because room needs to be made in the household for additional members. Cindy's second set of twins was ready to age up. That's little Donna and Debbie. Donna, of course, is Cindy's heir, and she will be the mother of Generation 3. She's completed her toddler skills, and now she's going to blow out her candles and age up to child. And I remembered that the heir is supposed to get a random new trait. So when it came time for her to get her new trait, I clicked the dice and it scrolled and she got kleptomaniac. I usually avoid that trait. I'm not used to having kleptomaniac sims. But that's what it is, and that's what she's got. I'll have to see what happens. I'll take her into stylist and change her outfit and hair after she's eaten her cake. So that's nice, mother and daughter enjoying cake together, and they're soon to be joined by the founder. So we'll have our founder and the first two heirs all together eating birthday cake for the heir of Generation 3. And there's Don, he is Cindy's father and Olivia's husband. It could be little Carl there, that just came across. And now it's Debbie's turn to blow out her candles. It looks like her grandmother Olivia is going to pick her up and take her over to help her blow out her candles. And there's Barbara arriving. She's Mary's imaginary friend made real, and she's the one that came home in the police car. And here comes little Donna after her makeover. And Carl. I think everybody's there now. It's safe to blow out the candles. And hopefully she'll have a happy birthday. There it is. She's blowing out her candles. It's not a birthday cake, it's an inferno cake. Oh my goodness, we got a fire. Who's going to put the fire out? Hope nobody gets burnt. Oh look, Martin's the brave one. He's brought the fire extinguisher. Who knew we'd need a fire extinguisher to help celebrate a birthday? Everybody else is doing their duty and panicking nicely. There it is, the flames are out. I think little Debbie's going to need a bottle to get over that trauma. She's going to run away. Yes, there's the bottle. She'll feel much better after drinking that. And we'll have to get her a new cake because she is going to age up today. At least everybody is already there gathered round to help her celebrate. So the new cake has arrived and Barbara's decided to do her homework while she waits for the next attempt at Debbie's blowing out of candles. And there she goes, Grandma Olivia is holding her again. I wonder where Donna got her homework from. She hasn't been to school yet. There's something going wrong with this game, I think. So everybody's gathered around. There's going to be a proper birthday cake or another inferno. There she is, blowing out the candles. What's going to happen? Put down. She must be going to age up, I think. There is no inferno there yet. Let's hope she ages up and doesn't decide to have another bottle. She's got a very green skin. She's taken after her grandfather Don, but his skin isn't quite so bright. She hasn't got any alien DNA in her, so it's not an alien skin that she's got. It's just green that she was born with. A lot of Olivia and Don's children have got greenish skin, but hers is really green. Now I can choose a trait for her. She got animal lover. Now when I started this series, the founder and all of her heirs for the 10 generations have to get the same hair and eye colour. And I decided that I'd mix the skin colours up a bit. So I'm going to try to give each spouse a different skin colour. I gave Don green skin, and Bill, who's married to Cindy, Bill has got pink skin. I'm not sure what colour I'll give the next little heir or her spouse, but it will be a different colour. It'll be interesting to see the variety of skin colours later generations have. I'm not sure how far back the trait will be able to be passed down. So everybody is enjoying their piece of cake. A few of them will have the stuffed moodlet because of eating 2 pieces of cake so quickly. But there's not going to be any more birthdays in this episode, so they'll be safe. They won't suddenly bulge and become huge. Eventually the cake eating was over and it was time to wash some dishes and for the Sims to go around their other activities. Don decided that he would clean up because there were so many dirty plates to wash. There was a lot more dirty plates than usual because there'd been 2 birthday parties and I don't think anybody washed many of the plates after the last lot of cake was eaten. Debbie wanted to help wash the dishes as well, but I decided that she needs her makeover and Don is more than capable of handling the dishwashing. I think Debbie might be a bit small to wash as many dishes as they are that need to be washed. It was getting very late and it was well beyond bedtime for most of these Sims, so most of them headed off to bed. And as Bill went upstairs to go to bed in his room, he had to walk past another room, and there was Frida Goth, the ghost, playing with the soccer ball. I thought that was a bit of fun. When Bill got to the room, Cindy was already fast asleep. He was so tired he just completely ignored the ghost, but then she's such a fixture around this household that I suppose he's well accustomed to seeing her, and she doesn't get up to much mischief. She just enjoys being in the house. I suppose she must have floated through a wall. A little later that night, an alien dropped by. Came and he wandered around the yard and had a bit of a look. Then he went back to his space car and sped off. I think he might be related to one of the little alien boys or girls in this household. And life went on as usual. There was homework to do and games to play and food to cook and eat. I've seen people wondering why my Sims are always so happy. Well, I don't show them when they're not happy, and also I make sure that all of their appliances are best that they can afford. And this household has got the fridge, which is the reward from the culinary career, so their food is pretty good. Olivia managed to become a 5-star chef ages ago. She's at level 10 of the culinary career, and Don is at level 8. And so I suppose when he gets to level 10, they'll get a second fridge. Looks like somebody's imaginary friend is about to be made real. Let's go see what's going to happen there. It's always a bit scary with the household so full when you make an imaginary friend real. Another thing I do to keep my Sims happy is I put lots of paintings that are worth maximum environment points around the house. Most of the paintings I hang are worth 10 environment points. I look for their value in environment points before I decide to hang something. And once they've got a lot of those paintings, and if I see something that's not worth many points but I like it, well then I'll hang it as well. It looks like Max is about to get to know his imaginary friend who has just come to life. The imaginary friend's name is Patterns. Max is at grade A at school, and he is the eldest of the children at this point. All of the children who are older than him have already aged up to teen, and I'm just waiting for Martin and Bart to get to grade A at school so I can age them up to young adult and move them to Vice City. One unexpected drawback of sending them off to Egypt to study all of their books was when they returned home, their school grade had reduced to C, and I'm pretty sure they were above a C before they went on their journey. So that could be something I need to watch out for in future. I'll have to do it at least once more just to be sure that that's what the problem was. Once Martin and Bart have moved out, there'll be room for Max and his imaginary friend to age up to teen. So for his imaginary friend to be ready to age up to teen when Martin and Bart move out, this imaginary friend's going to have to be made real fairly quickly. I wonder what's going on there with Mary and one of the townies. Looks like she's hungry and about to eat something. She's got to get up to grade A at school as well, but she's a teen and she's younger than Martin, so she'll move out with Barbara as soon as they get to grade A as well. So we're going to make Patterns real now, because he's going to have to learn the child skills, and I'd also like to try to get him up to grade A at school if possible, but it's not absolutely essential. I'm not going to hold on to him and to them both here as children while that imaginary friend battles his way up to grade A at school. Now Max has got the potion in his pocket, but of course Patterns won't drink it until he and Max are best friends. So they're going to be working on their friendship for quite a while. But we won't watch the whole thing. We will skip to when Patterns is about to drink the potion. They've been getting to know each other for quite a while, and now they're enjoying this game of tag. They were quite good friends before Patterns became live, because Max used to play with him a lot and sing to him and those sort of things. So I think it's almost time for a bit of potion drinking. I see that Mary and that townie are still in the outdoor eating area. Not sure what's going on there. Don't even know who he is. The game of tag came to an end, and then there was a little chat about comic books before Max decided he'd take a chance and offer the potion to his imaginary friend who wants to be made real soon. Will Patterns take it? They're deep in conversation. Suddenly, the conversation dropped and Max whipped out the potion and handed it to Patterns, and he took it straight away and drank it all. And now he is changing, and he is soon to become real. What an experience. I think I see red hair and freckles in Patton's future. So Patton's emerged from Creator Sim, and his new name is Paul, and he does have red hair and freckles. I thought, we don't have anybody with that colouring at the moment. We'll let him get used to being a real sim, and then he can start working on his child skills. It looks like Barbara's talking to Martin, and Mary's just standing there looking out at these pair of boys. I bet she's surprised. She thought Max was talking to himself, and then all of a sudden there was a new person in the household. I suppose she's worked out by now that it was an imaginary friend becoming real. And while Paul plays on the spring rider, in the nursery, Donna is working on her child cooking skill. She needs to learn all of her childhood skills as well, as does Debbie. So we've got 3 of them now, all with skills to learn in a hurry. I will leave Donna and Debbie to age up much later. They can get grade A at school and learn some new skills, because they've got an older brother and sister that needs to age to 10 a long time before they do. But they can all learn their basic child skills straight away. Now, when the 2 little girls aged up from toddler to child recently, their imaginary friend dolls vanished from the inventory. I was looking for them, and I found 2 imaginary friends who were just running around town, not belonging to anybody apparently, not made real yet, just running around in their doll form. And I wasn't sure if they belonged to the 2 little girls or not. So I messed around a bit, and then I did something really silly. I added them to the household, and so they keep popping in and out of the household. Sometimes they're in the portrait panel and sometimes they're not. And Denise has been excitedly waiting for this one to appear so she can have a pillow fight with him. I don't think it's her imaginary friend, but she does seem to be able to see him. And I do think the other one that's not in the house at the moment is her imaginary friend. But we'll only find out when she eventually gets to make them real. That's little Sonny sitting there doing his homework. He is the youngest of the alien children. Now, speaking of imaginary friends being made real, Daryl, Denise and Debbie have still got to find the potion to do the job. And here they are working at the chemistry tables, because Debbie has still got to do all of her child's skills. She was the last one to age up. I've given her a makeover, but I allowed her to keep the hair that the game gave her when she transformed from a toddler to a child. Denise and Daryl were both working on the logic skill before they started trying to find the potion, so it shouldn't take them very long to discover the potion to make the imaginary friends real. Denise has got a higher logic skill than Daryl has, so she should be the first one to get it done. I think she could even do it, when she's only got 2 or 3 other potions made. So Paul has now started working on the oven. Get him to do his cooking skill. Debbie started doing the cooking skill, but she only started. She didn't do very much of it. So we'll get her back to it. And once both Paul and Debbie have finished cooking, I will put the 3 new children to work with their blocks, but that won't be till the next episode. Oh look, Daryl just made a potion, but it wasn't the one he wants. But I guess any potion will do when you're a little sim wanting to discover new potions all the time. They're all wishing to discover potions, and they've got wishes to discover the imaginary friend metamorphism potion as well. I think I'll end the video here because this is as far as I've played the game, and it'll take me quite a while to record more, and I'd like to get this posted. It's been such a long time since I did post an episode. So thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate a like on the video, as that helps the channel and gives me an idea if people actually like what I'm doing or not. Bye bye for now, and happy simming.